Chipotle, the trampoline park, the community pool, the middle of the road, McDonald's, a regular park, a movie theater, the amusement park, the mall. It's majority black teenagers. We have to be honest and real about this conversation, and that also includes highlighting the bad parenting that is at play and how we can't just keep saying, oh, it's the kids, it's the kids. It's also the parents too. Because as much as I want to blame the kids for being rowdy and acting insane and just acting ridiculous, we also have to ask, okay, how did they get ridiculous? How did they get rowdy? How are these teenagers growing up with this sense of just, I don't care about anything? How did we get there? That's what we're going to discuss in this video, and let this video be a reminder that you're not alone for thinking the way that you do. So if you like this type of honest and real commentary, be sure to subscribe. It helps the channel grow a ton, and let's just go.
Bro, somebody needs to take...
First off, Dollar Tree, Target, this is what they're doing. They're going to ChatGPT and all these like AI websites, and they're building up a flyer, and they have Instagram pages, TikTok pages, and they just highlight, hey, we're going to take over this area. And ultimately, it just means everybody meet up and just, there's so many of you guys who are just like that rowdy, you're that crazy. But it seems to be inevitable that there's always a fight that happens. There maybe a shooting, there's stealing, there's looting. It's just always a disaster for some reason. But this is how it all comes to be. And this page says we don't promote violence. And then you see one that says kill. Come on now. But I can see how they get so many people in one area because of social media. Whereas I feel like back in the day, early 2000s, early 2010s, if you met up with your friends or you were going somewhere, it was typically just that school or the neighboring school, and that's it. You didn't have the whole town. You didn't have all the different high schools coming together to do something. If you were saying, oh, this Friday night we're going to the skating rink, it typically was only the two high schools in that area that would go to that skating rink. But now when you have all these flyers and it's like, oh, let's do this teen takeover, the whole city comes. Neighboring cities, everybody hops in the car, people ordering Ubers, they all meet up, and then they just act a fool.
Like these and that. But especially this one. Why are we going across? Yeah, guys. And then they post stuff like this on their story. Like, are you serious? Can we make this longer and better than May Plaza? Go home.
Go home
now, because over the summer, all the innocent teenagers that are trying just to hang out with their friends, not gonna have any place to do it because you guys are gonna ruin everything.
And we're gonna get into that later in this video. This idea that the teenagers don't have anywhere to go, don't have anything to do. They do. It just so happens. Like, where are the white kids at? Where are they at? They're never in these big mobs or groups of people and groups of teens. Teenagers have things to do. They have places to go. They're fine. It's just a matter of the group that's getting together. How are they acting? What is their behavior like? Or do they have good morals? Do they have a good life at home? What is going on with them? I think that's the issue that we need to hit at. And we are later in this video. But it's like, why? It seems to always be black kids. Are there Hispanics in there? Of course. Maybe some Asians, maybe some trinkles of the whites, but it's in large part, like insane amount numbers wise, it's always young black kids. And the reasoning behind that is sad because it is a telltale sign that there's just no structure at home. There just isn't anymore.
Let me say something that people don't want to admit. They're not listening to parents. They're not listening to teachers. They're not listening to principals. They're not even listening to preachers, and definitely they're not listening to law enforcement.
It's deeper.
And they're not listening to you. Not because they can't hear, but because they don't respect what they see. They see inconsistency. They see fear.
Yeah.
Hypocrites. They see adults who won't stand together.
Well, that's also true. When you look at damn, it is interesting seeing the dynamics of when you have these teenagers and they're in these homes. Maybe they're in a two-parent household, maybe they're not. But when they're around adults who they're not even someone that they're looking up to, it seems kind of hard to look at life in a positive, uplifting way, or that you have something else to live for. You have a reason to act well. You have a reason for goals and dreams and aspirations. But when you don't have that, when even in your own home, you're looking at a parent that is just in constant debt, in constant worries, and constant fear, and they're not living their dream life, you as their kid probably looking up at them like, well, damn, Why would I listen to you? Clearly your life is not going well as planned, so shit. And that's coming from existence. I mean, I'm talking like I have two parents that it's so sad, but I have two parents. I have a mom and a dad that I do not look up to and would never look up to. Now, for me, I was able to look past that, and I understood at a young age that I can be whatever I want to be in this world. And I understood that you can be the happiest, richest person and come crashing down. You can be someone at the bottom that has nothing and rise to the top. I knew and I understood that it does take this hard work, and anybody can put in that hard work to become what they want to be and be their ancestors' dream. Anybody can achieve that. And I knew that at a young age, and I'm grateful for that. But if I didn't know that, and I already don't have parents that I look up to, maybe I would just be out here acting a fool. Because what else is there to live for if I'm not exposed to that and I don't know that? Now, I'm not giving an excuse for these kids. Obviously, there's the internet. Obviously, if I knew that at the ripe age of 13, 14 back in 2009, 2010, I mean, shit, you can go online, you can read self-help books, you can seek out different mentors. You can do what you need to do to not act a fool. But this kind of thought process, it does make sense in that the kids are ignoring all of the adults in a leadership position because they're realizing that they're not even happy themselves. Especially, I feel like, if you're in overly political family, especially more liberal side, where it's always, oh, oppression, being black in America, so this, being a black in America, so that. Well, why would I fight hard if I know I'm gonna have to fight 10 times harder than a white man? If that's what you're telling these teens, you're gonna have to work harder. If you're gay, you're gonna have to work harder. If you're black, you're gonna have to work harder. If you're a woman, this, knock down, hurdle. You're making it hard for someone to even look up and realize there's something worth living for. Because that's really what it boils down to, especially with these teen takeovers and all these hood ass children. It comes down to, what do they have to live for? When you go to the hoods and you have all these young teenagers and these YNs willing to like shoot people, rob people, scheming, that's their life. That existence, that drug culture, that gang culture, like that is their life. That's all there is. That's all they know, and that's it. So when you have a group of teenagers that likely not, they're being raised by themselves, or they're being raised by someone who doesn't even like their own life, they're just saying F it.
Authority doesn't align, it collapses. So now everyone is asking, what's wrong with these kids? No. The better question is, what did they learn from us? Yeah. Respect isn't demanded, it's built. And right now,
you can't demand respect. You have to build it. They have to want to respect you. They have to want to look up to you. They have to want to listen to you. And I know, again, from my own parents, when you're trying to demand authority, because I'm the parent, because I'm the mama, because I'm a daddy, but your life says otherwise, the way you act says otherwise, I don't respect you. I don't look up to you. I don't fear you. You have nothing over me other than thankfully, what you've provided for me throughout my childhood, as far as keeping a roof over my head and making sure that I was fed. Thanks, I guess, but I didn't ask to be born. So when you just shoving Tyson chicken nuggets and ramen noodles in front of these kids and the TV and saying go outside, and they ain't learning from nobody, and they have no one they want to learn from, you end up with a group of teenagers that are just like F it. And then you add on that layer of social media and wanting to do things for clout, wanting to do things for follows, wanting to just do things just to do it, you end up with this. And while I do find it important to highlight the parents' role in all of this, I also think it's important to highlight our role, you and I's role, in how we talk about this comfortably. Because I know I don't think it's fair, and I know you don't think it's fair for us to be labeled a racist, homophobe, xenophobe, whatever, any list, you drop any phobic, any slur down the list. It's not fair for us to call out these things out in these videos and make obvious observations and be called all these names. To be fear canceling, losing friends, to being doxxed, the whole nine. We shouldn't have to fear that. Thankfully though, if you ever do want to prevent yourself and your private information from being out there on the internet all willy-nilly, and you want to protect your privacy online, then I highly recommend you take a look into today's sponsor, Aura, because it is genuinely concerning how much of our private information is just out there right now. And we know this from people's locations being leaked, the spam phone calls, the spam text messages, emails for things you never signed up for. It's too much. And the problem is that there's these data brokers that find any information they can about you, and not just data brokers, but horrible people too. They do anything they can to find information about you, and they buy it and sell it for profit, which is beyond shady and creepy in the first place, that all your information is just out there right now ready to be Googled. However, with Aura, this all comes to an end. It's a service that protects all of your information online and does the work of a lot of different apps all in one. They do the reaching out to data brokers to get them to remove your information from online, because by law they have to, but they make it incredibly hard to do so. So I just let Aura handle that for you. But they offer spam call protection, identity theft protection, financial fraud protection. It's a VPN, it's a password manager. It does so much all under one app that is nationally recognized and respected. It's digital protection for everything that matters, and given that my life is online and yours too, I'm thankful that we've got Aura to protect us. It's easy to use, it's sleek, and it's the one-stop shop I know a lot of people out there have been looking for. So listen, either you can continue right now to let your information out there, continue to let it be bought and sold, or you take control by going to aura.com/Amir, aura.com/Amir, to start your 2-week free trial, which is also linked below in the description.
Frenzy at the Battery over the weekend. A teen takeover. Hundreds of youth crowding into the popular entertainment complex. Crowds turned into chaos. At least 17 people were arrested, including 7 teens and 8 adults charged with inciting to riot, prowling, obstruction, and other charges. And now a half-mile away, Cumberland Mall issuing a teen curfew to avoid the same scene.
And then it's crazy because we're going to get into this later in this video, but there's parents out there that are like, oh, the teenagers ain't got nowhere to go. Malls have been a thing. They have a mall to go to. I used to go to the mall. We all used to go to the mall, kick it, have fun. We'll eat. We'll go in a few stores. We'll shop. Like, it was just a good time. Why is it that y'all go to the mall, y'all shut it down, y'all riot, y'all loud, y'all fight, until the point where they have to put in curfews? I never had a curfew in a mall. The only curfew that I heard of was initiated by the parents. This is crazy.
Like this started circulating on social media saying, Cumberland Mall takeover. Be there or hear about it. February 28th. On Saturday after 3 o'clock, anyone who appears under the age of 18 will have to be accompanied with an adult. A spokesperson for the mall saying this is the first time they've implemented this parental guidance required program, adding, quote, this PGR program is in response to recent social media activity indicating the potential for disruptive, unsupervised gatherings of youth.
And now it's gotten to the point now where the parents are getting charged. And I'm happy to hear it. I'm glad for this, because there needs to be some type of accountability for this, for just the lack of parenting. And really, it's so crazy to me, like how many people actually out here just having sex and having kids, and they're in no right position to have a kid, like at all. No desire to want them, no desire to raise them, no nothing. You're just having kids just to have them, and this is what we end up with. Disruptive teens, mainly black kids. Hello. Every single entertainment vertical, there is a policy like this put in place because black kids don't know how to act. Unfortunately, it's not racist to point it out. I'm not a bigot for saying that. I'm not a self-hating black person for pointing that out. I'm not a coon or Uncle Tom. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is always young black kids with the lack of parents acting a fool.
Hey, look, $1,000? They saying the fine?
Should be more than that. It should be more than $1,000. It should be a good fat fine to make sure you know your child better not be out here in these streets acting crazy, because they will get their ass whooped for the fine that you will be getting. I'm talking not 1,000. Do 10 bands. Do a smooth $10,000 fine. Make it hurt. Make it hurt. Garnish the paycheck.
The family may be already, struggling.
Alderman Ray Lopez introducing a new ordinance in the Public Safety Committee today that could hold parents liable for the criminal actions of their children. Example, if a child is involved in a teen takeover and committed a criminal act, their parent or legal guardian could face a $1,000 fine, community service, and court-mandated family and parental counseling.
They have to make it more defined. They have to define the rules a little bit more instead of making it a general concept. They have to really aim it at a certain specific behavior or specific parenting style. Because I'll say this, and Adam is right, like, you working hard to maintain, and then something happens, all of a sudden you get slammed with $1,000 citation. That could break the family budget.
The family budget. Y'all ain't got a family as it is. Ain't no way in hell you should be too concerned about getting $1,000 fine than it should be for you to raise a good, upstanding citizen for the society to function in. This idea that, oh, We're all, the families don't need fines. We're already gonna hurt them. F it. We live in a too nice society. It's too nice. It's too empathetic. Oh, well, we don't want to fine them that much. They're already hurting. Good. Make them hurt more so they realize what not to do. Again, it goes back to that meme, that Nick Fuentes meme when he's like, and most blacks should be in prison. Well, because we see most blacks get out of jail. We see most black people just do what they want to do. I watch these Cold Blue Cams, Midwest Safety, Daily Dose of Crime. There's so many pages. The Orlando ones at the airports was my favorite ones. At airports when people get tased. So good. Those pages, bro, what are you doing with 10 felonies? What are you doing 10, 15 felonies? You letting out of jail, let out of jail. You've been chased by cops. You George Floyd holding a pregnant woman at gunpoint. You're just out. There's too many people in this society right now that are just out. We need to make examples of criminals. We need to bring back like public viewings for certain crimes. And we need to make all these crimes harsher so people know how to act. I don't care if it's seen as cruel. I don't care if it's seen as mean. At some point, we need to mandate what is okay and not okay in society when it is clearly and evidently impacting the lives of all the citizens and just making things bad for society. Point blank, period. I'm all for disagreeing with somebody, but still allowing that to like pass as a, like, we don't all have to be on the same page. I'm not advocating for that. But I am I am advocating for us all to be on the same page on what is extremely unacceptable in a society because of the harms that it proposes to others. Can we at least get behind that? Please. Because I'm tired of the never-ending crime. I'm tired of this skin color constantly acting a fool in public, everywhere. I'm tired of it. And we should be allowed to have these conversations and say, hey, don't act like that. Don't do that. Don't get wrapped up in this. It's not productive and does nothing for society. It's a damn shame. So yeah, when it comes to fining these parents, they need to be fined. When it comes to putting these kids in jail, they need to go to jail. An example needs to be made because no one is fearful to act a fool anymore. And it's evident, it's clear as day. No one's scared. No one gives a fuck. No one's scared and no one gives a flying F anymore. And it's sad that that attitude is most prevalent in young black teens because they have no one to look up to. Dad's gone. Mama's too busy working. There's no one to look up to. And even if you have the two parents at home, you still can be in a position where you don't have parents. You have a biological mother and a biological father that gave birth to you and they're providing for you. But are you learning from them? Are you looking up to them? Are they inspirational? Or are they just a friend? Or are they just someone that you're seeing nonstop struggling, nonstop making bad decisions in their life, nonstop acting a fool to the point where you don't even look up to your own parents. You don't even like them. Then what? Oh, let me just go look up to the ball player. Oh, let me just look up to this rapper. It's so sad. Like something actually does need to change in black culture and the parenting within it. And again, I'm not saying there aren't some Mexicans in the crowd, some white people, some Asians. Yes, but I'm not gonna sit here in front of y'all and act like it's not majority black kids. I'm not gonna do that.
We don't want them to go to these places. Where can they go?
The behavior of teenagers in 2026 is so fucking crazy. It is a question of where can they go. When I was in middle school and ATL had just opened up, they set a curfew because we were going up there fighting between the Zaxby's and the movie theater. Because that was the niggas would say, hey, let's go up here this weekend. Let's do this. Let's do that. It's a TGI Fridays right there at Camp Creek. We walk from the Fridays, go to the movies. Niggas was meeting up before the movies to fight.
And I will give credit to that. Like, I'm not saying there were never fights. I'm not saying people were never rowdy. I'm not saying that. There were teens in the 90s, in the 2000s, and the 2010s that were acting a fool. But this era, nasty work, especially with social media. It's a new breed. It's different.
Girls and boys was having sex in the movie theaters before movies and getting caught.
That's always been a thing.
Exactly.
That's nothing.
But if you got 200 niggas at Camp Creek, I don't think they would have let us all in the movies. These niggas is getting on Instagram telling everybody, let's meet at it. Bro, you know how fast something will turn into like a serious situation? when you have that many kids unattended?
It's clear how fast that things can derail when you have that many kids there. And it goes back to what I was saying in the beginning of this video, and how back in the day, but like the early 2000s, 2010s, when you were going somewhere, you were only going somewhere with your school, your middle school, your high school, maybe the neighboring high school. Now that I'm thinking about it, you never really went out with everybody. If you did, maybe it was the skating rink, but if it was the skating rink, it mainly was the two high schools that are just near that rink. People weren't traveling. Like, it seems really different, and a lot more people with the social media, with the making the flyers and the Instagram pages for the teen takeovers, because we've been acting a fool. I'm not saying teenagers haven't at all. Now, were we more tame? For sure, we were more tame. But nowadays, you add in this layer of social media, people wanting to cause a riot, cause a ruckus so they can document it and put it on TikTok, put it on Instagram, they on live stream, and you acting a fool because you want some clout, because you want some followers, because you want some likes. So while things have changed, they also haven't. I'm not saying teenagers haven't acted crazy, they have, but in this much, that's totally new.
I'm hearing a lot of different takes about what's causing these teen takeovers. And truth be told, the reason we're having so many teen takeovers is because these kids are not afraid of their parents. And it's really that simple.
Yes, exactly what I was mentioning earlier. They're not afraid of their parents. There's no structure at home for them to fear. They just don't. And there's no care for the consequences.
If you are someone and they see you drinking and smoking and cussing and fussing and carrying on, and you do inappropriate stuff around them, or you watch inappropriate stuff around them, or you listen to inappropriate stuff around them, that's how they're going to act, because that's what they see you doing. And so either the kid is not afraid of the parent because the parent is not parenting, or the kid is just acting how the parents act. Regardless of what the parents say, they see how you live, and you think, like, let's just be real. A lot of us millennial parents, we think that some of this dysfunction and fussing and cussing and fighting and carrying on this loving hip-hop behavior, this baddies behavior, we think a lot of this stuff is cool, it's funny, it's cute. So guess what? Our kids think it's cool, it's funny, it's cute.
Yeah, when you got Zeus Network, when you got baddies on the TV, you watching Real Housewives, and up here fighting and swinging, and you're telling your kid one thing, but you're acting a different way. They see what you're liking, what you're watching on social media. They're seeing what we're watching on TV. Hello, it makes sense why they're acting the way they act, why they don't fear you and they don't listen to you because they see how you're living your life. To either have a parent that is just not present at home and they do not care about them at all, or they have a parent that is at home, but they're just watching and acting like the things that the own parent watches and condones.
That's why they're out there doing what they're doing, because they're not really worried about any consequences, number one. And they think what they're doing is fun and cute and funny.
Yep.
It's really that simple. Also, a lot of these kids have way too much freedom.
That part.
When I was a kid, when I was, a teenager, yes, I went out, I had fun. But guess what? My folks knew my friends, and they didn't know all of my friends' parents, but they knew some of my friends' parents. They knew where they lived, they knew their names, and so forth and so on. And I couldn't just up and leave the house.
No.
Before I left out, they wanted to know where I was going and who I was going to be with. Nowadays, kids just leave the house. You don't know where they're going. You don't know what they're doing.
Oh, I'm going to so-and-so house. I'm going to order an Uber. Okay. And it's crazy because I remember a shift in my mama when I was in elementary school and middle school, it was very much like, where are you going, who you're with, I need to meet their parents. It was very much that. High school, I was all over Nashville. I really was. Now, I wasn't acting a fool, but I definitely was in them streets. I definitely was at the lake, smoking, popping stuff. I was having fun. I was chilling. But again, I wasn't rowdy. I wasn't acting a fool. But it was definitely untapped. It was definitely like, just go out and do whatever you want. At this point, I really don't care. And I was like, okay, well, I don't care. And that's what we're seeing. A lot of these parents nowadays, they just don't care. They can't care. And that's why, like, obviously, I'm not just saying it's a race thing because I want to. We have the footage. We can see it's all just niggas. Everywhere you look, it's just black kids everywhere. When you think about the parenting differences between white parents and black parents, I mean, shit, it makes sense. It makes sense. You know what kind of parents are more active in their child's life? What kind of parents more motivating, inspiring? What kind of parents when you want to look up to? What kind of parent you want to be like when you grow older? It's sad. It's sad to point out, but it's the truth.
All right, y'all, we're going to talk about these teen takeovers. So I want y'all to send this to parents and the motherfucking kids, too. Send this to motherfucking everybody. In the metro area.
This is Hood News Network. I'm dead.
Area, in the city, all that. And the people who organizing these takeovers. So it was 13 arrests, 11 firearms recovered, and 4 curfew violations. The youngest person being charged and arrested was 13 years of age. Some even being caught with automatic weapons on the motherfucking belt line the other day. Now, y'all kids, y'all took it too far.
Get these nigglets off the street.
I understand y'all want to be grown, but guess what? Y'all not grown yet. People complaining talking about some of the kids ain't got nothing to do. It's plenty of shit for y'all to goddamn do. Y'all not grown. Go to the motherfucking skating ring. Go to the goddamn movies. Go here, go there.
Hell, they can't because they keep destroying it. I love me some Hood News Network. Who is this?
But places that got alcohol and, you know, sometimes you need to be accompanied by a goddamn parent. Parents, stop goddamn having your kids just go out being with anybody.
Come on now.
They need to be with an adult. Whatever happened to calling me like, hey, who gonna be over there? Oh, it's gonna be a chaperone, or it's gonna be somebody watching them. Stop sending these kids all out left and right, goddamn, by themselves.
It is interesting too because I feel like a lot of kids have a phone, and so some parents are just like, well, I can call you if I need you. Call me if you need me. I got your phone. I got your location, maybe, and that's it. Then I'm looking too deep into where the actual kid is because a lot of these parents aren't parenting. That's what it all boils down to. Piss poor ass parents.
So I don't know what the hell y'all need to do, but y'all need to goddamn find something constructive to do with y'all motherfucking time. Take over a library. Take over a motherfucking church.
Yes.
Take over anything else. Stop goddamn doing these goddamn takeovers. Doing all that goddamn dumbass shit. Y'all gotta calm down, man.
Take over a library. Take over job applications. Take over a book. Something. But not even take over. Don't take over nothing. Don't take. Why niggas want to take shit? Black folk, why we want to take? Take. Steal. Why? Just remove the language. Just hang out. Just go hang out with your friends. Don't kill. Just challenge. New 2026 challenge. Y'all talking about all these different challenges and takeovers. Here's a challenge for you. Go somewhere with a group of friends and don't kill somebody. Don't shoot somebody. Don't rob somebody. Don't loot nothing. Don't steal nothing. Don't cause a crime. Don't get a ticket. Don't party in traffic. Just chill. Make that a challenge. The just chill challenge. Because apparently a lot of y'all can't. It's because of the lack of third spaces. They have spaces to go. They have things to do. And parents working 40+ hour weeks, leaving these kids bored and unsupervised. I was bored and unsupervised. My whole block was, and we weren't up here shooting, robbing, scheming, looting, and shooting. We weren't doing that. Half these kids be out in the suburbs acting a fool. But what this man got to say? How are we going to blame? Just here we go.
Like the bigger issue a lot of people aren't talking about is the lack of third spaces, bruh. It's the government's fault. It's these cities' faults for these kids not having anything to fucking do. Like
when we give them an urban air and a trampoline park, what do they do? When we give them a Six Flags, we give them a theme park, what do they do? When you give them a skating rink, what do they do? When you give them a movie theater, what do you do? When you give them a Chipotle, what do they do? When you give them a water park, what do they do? When you give them just a park, a regular park, what do they do? We can't keep going down this route of they have nowhere to go, there's no third spaces, there's nothing for these teenagers to do. Well, we had teen clubs. They have teen nights at these places, okay? But they shut it down. they have places to go, but they ruin it day in and day out.
Stuff like that. They can't watch their fucking kids 24/7 and watch everything that they're fucking doing and stuff like that, because they have to feed them. They have to put clothes on their back. And if people aren't being, and that's another thing about this shit, it's capitalism in the fucking economy. If people were being paid more and they had a lot more leeway to be able to have more time to pay attention to their kids and shit like that, because they weren't giving half of their fucking life to their job, that we would have a lot more kids that were.
Or do proper planning and have a kid when you know you have the time and dedication and the willpower to do so. How about that? How about start having planned children? And not so much planned as in like, I have this much money in the bank and I have my perfect house and it's that. No. Planned as in like you want a kid. You want to be present in your child's life. That's the type of planning I mean. Let's start there. These teen takeovers have gotten completely out of control. And again, it's mainly the black kids that are doing it. Sorry, not sorry. It is what it is. But I really want to know your comments below and your thoughts. If you feel comfortable sharing that. What do you think about all this? What is it like in your own area? Have you seen the teen takeovers in person? Have you been somewhere and then just boom, just abrupt, just a bunch of black kids? What are the trends that you're seeing and experiencing on your day-to-day life? I would love to know, because all this teen takeover shit is getting absurd and it's happening more and more, large part due to social media and the clout that these kids want to get from it. But ultimately too, the lack of parenting, the lack of structure, and it's just sad. It's sad at this point, and I don't know where we go from here other than keep promoting good parenting and keep talking about this behavior and how bad it is and how we shouldn't. These kids need something more to look up to. These kids need something else to look up to. These kids need something else to give them hope in this world. They do. And I know if you're still here at the end of this video, talking directly to you, having nothing to do with this video, I hope that you have hope for your own self. I hope that you have hope for your own life, and that you know, trust, and believe that you can be whatever you want to be in this planet. You can. And that whatever you're going through right now, whether it's family drama, friendship drama, health stuff, anything, work, you know it's called going through it for a reason. You're actively going through it. You're not stuck there. You will survive. It's all a temporary season. This is what got me out my ruts when I was in, especially like down in 8th grade, when I was really slicing and dicing myself. Listen, what got me out the dumps the most is when it clicked for me that this is just temporary. This is just a season. And it will pass. Just because my life looks like where it is right now and I'm experiencing my day-to-day life doesn't mean this is it forever. This is just a time period and it will change. And I have faith and I know it will change. And I'm working hard to that point, and I hope that you are too. So that being said, I want you to know you're not alone in your thoughts. You're not crazy for thinking the way that you do. We're all right here, one big community, doing this together. And I love you a ton. And I cannot wait to for you guys to see what I've been working on for building this community. And besides that, I will catch you for sure in the next video. Deuces.